What's new, 802? I'm Becca Hammond, and you're listening to Vermont Talks. Vermont Talks may include graphic or explicit content. Listener discretion is advised. It is April 19th. I am here today with Burly Girlies at Big Heavy World in Burlington. Burly Girlies is a feminist punk band from Vermont. They write songs based on their experiences as queer small-town weirdos taking up space in the 21st century patriarchy. Puss EP is out on April 26th, much awaited. And I'm here today with Morgan, Ray, and Spencer. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm super excited to have you here today. I got to have a sneak peek of Puss EP earlier today.
I love to hear people say it.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It is. It's a great name. And it's great. Like, I'm hugely impressed. I've listened to all sorts of different things out of the bands around town, and I don't know what I was expecting. A lot of EPs are kind of like raw. That was very, very solidly done. It feels very polished.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. We had a lot of really awesome people helping us work on it and recording it. Spencer recorded the whole freaking thing.
Yeah.
And River Hartley of Spicy World Studio in town mixed it, mastered it for us. So, yeah.
So where did you record it? Was it in your normal practice space?
No, so my dad and I converted the part of the basement into a studio like a summer or two ago, just because.
In Spencer's house.
Yeah. Well, my parents. We just turned it in there, and I went to school for engineering, audio engineering. So I kind of was like, here's the things that would make it a great studio, and the dad's like, well, I actually know how to build stuff, so here's what we'll actually do. And that's what we ended up doing. So shout out to my dad.
Yeah, shout out Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spencer's parents rock.
They're like the adoptive, like Burly Girlies parents.
Yeah.
Spencer's parents
I kind of tend to do that at any time I join a scene or a band. It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, your parents, are they coming to the show?
Yeah, they're great.
Good
Adam,
people then.
Yeah, Adam
They're the
from
best.
Blossom, they still remember my parents from like a decade ago in the metal scene.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've heard references to Blossom about 6 times in different shows.
Oh.
I recorded. I forget who. We're going to go on a tangent. Who was in Blossom? Can you...
Adam, Kristen, Grace, and
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah,
I was like,
Kristen is in the path as well, which is probably
Okay,
And-
yes.
oh,
That's probably
Adam's
where
in
we talked
other-
about it.
Isn't
Adam's
Adam-
in the Bubs,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I think the Bubs are one of the greatest bands ever. I love the Bubs so much.
Yeah, Blossom. Blossom is one of the greatest bands ever.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, they rule.
Cool. Okay, but back to you guys, because I will go on tangents. Totally.
Yeah.
All
Like,
day.
let's talk about any other band.
Let's actually talk about us.
So let's go back to the dawn of time. When did Burly Girlies become a thing? Did it have previous entities, or did it instantly become Burly Girlies?
Oh, that's a good question. Well,
Kind of.
Burly Girlies was first just me and Morgan making songs in like our rooms and not really knowing what we were doing. But I wanted to start a band, and I just told Morgan that she should do it with me. And we didn't. I have some musical background. Like, I learned how to play drums as like a child, and I played ukulele in college and like performed a bit.
Ukulele girl.
Yeah, back it was the time where that was a thing, and and so I really enjoyed performing. And then when I graduated from college, I moved to Burlington, and I didn't end up like doing another I didn't like fill the void that performing all throughout like high school and college had left until later on. I was like really depressed and like not as confident as I typically am, and I discovered in therapy that I needed some sort of performance like outlet, and so I had always wanted to start a band, but I guess I just didn't really like see it as a possibility. And then I got really into like the right girl movement of the 90s and started listening to Bikini Kill and like Mommy Long Legs and Daisy and the Scouts and stuff, and that's what I just told Morgan, like, we're just gonna do this now. And so it started off with just me and her, and then Emmett joined later on drums, and then like 1 or 2 years into it, Spencer joined, because she like accosted us outside of our show.
She was like, "Y'all rock! I can make this so much better."
Yeah.
And she did. Yeah.
I mean, that's not. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I accidentally went to a show because Emmett was my roommate was my best friend's roommate. Emmett was my best friend's roommate. Got there, and I saw him loading drums into a venue. I'm like, Emmett, what are you doing? They're like, I'm playing a show. I'm like, oh, hey, Josh, I know what we're doing tonight. And so we went to the show, and I was blown away by it. And I was like, oh my god, I need to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I really, yeah.
Some of the best friends who just decide, hey, we
Yeah.
are now friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just, yeah, I just remember being like, this is what I loved about it. This is super great. I would love to even just talk about music with you. And yeah. And then it took them forever to listen to any of the things that I did. I learned all the songs, all the parts, and then I recorded the parts that I'm actually pretty much playing now. They didn't change that much from that, and was like, hey, what do you think? And then it was radio silence for like 6 months.
Yeah. I truly don't remember that. I'm sorry. But happy it worked out.
Yeah, I just remember being like, I don't want to push it. Maybe they hate it.
That's
and I just,
so
you know.
funny.
Yeah.
The way that it was probably just like
We were like, no, yeah, this is important. We will listen to this tonight. And then,
unmedicated ADHD people with like full-time jobs. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
yeah.
6 months goes really quick when
Yeah.
you're busy.
Not when
does.
you're like,
And I'll be like, I'm going to
wanted-
get to that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then it just happens 6 months
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that's just the way she goes. But it clearly worked out, and things are clearly going well. So the fact that you brought up Bikini Kill, when I listened to the EP, I was like, Kathleen Hanna would be so proud.
Oh my god, thank you for
Thank
saying
you.
that.
Thank
So-
you, Scorpio Queen. We love
Yeah.
her.
Just beautiful. Like I love punk in general, like especially classic original
Yeah.
old school punk. And it checked all the boxes. I'm really happy about it. So let's talk a little bit if you want to talk about the EP.
Yeah.
Yeah. we would
Like
love
let's
No.
talk about the songs. Like where did this come from? Are they songs? Is this your first official release? So is this from the beginning of time to current?
Well, our first official release was Horror for Horror, like in 2022. And then, so like, yes. In my mind, yes, because we started, like, all of these songs that are on the EP are like the songs that me and Ray wrote, like, in like her basement, like during the pandemic, like without a drummer. Not all of them, but like a lot of them. It's like we think of our band as like different eras, and this is definitely an EP from like the first era.
And we've definitely like moved on stylistically from
Yeah.
then, but these are all songs that we still play, or for the most part, we play pretty
Yeah.
often. And yeah, but it's like our first era. So,
Yeah.
So we kind of backtrack, but also like they're very different than when we originally wrote them because of Spencer joining and like making it feels like they are our first era and like our old music, but it's also like a very new approach to it
Yeah.
because of what Spencer's done for it with lead guitar.
Yeah, and like helping me with my bass parts and stuff, and just like, I don't know, little things like that. And also just like when you have taken so much time with songs and just like, I don't know, playing them the same way for years gets boring. So it was really cool to like have them evolve with us.
No, they sound, that's it. They don't sound thrown together by any means. It sounds like you've spent a really long time cleaning them up and just making them.
Yeah. It's
Which-
been years.
That's it.
literally
With a lot of
years.
punk stuff, you miss that, but it's a really hard line to toe, right?
Yeah.
Because if you put too much into it, it's not
Yeah.
punk anymore. It becomes like prog rock or something.
Yeah.
Like you just start falling into different genres, but it's solid
I mean,
punk.
part of that, you just set some rules for yourself with what's allowed and what's not. But also, like, I will say I like try everything. I try and foster that too. Like Aurora, is this coming out? Is this coming out before the EP or after the EP?
It doesn't matter. You can talk about the songs
Okay.
as even if people
All
haven't
right.
heard them.
Just making sure. Like, there's backup harmonies in Aurora that just like were because we had extra time, and Morgan was like, "Can I try something?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it completely changed the whole vibe of the song. Like, it's worth just trying everything. And we're in my basement. There's no,
Yeah.
it just
We have so much
Yeah.
freedom. like I don't know.
Like also in
That's
Aurora,
awesome.
there's a little they made like kind of made it crazier sounding, but that's an accordion that I had that we recorded.
Yeah.
That little lead line in the back.
The punk rock accordion.
The punk rock
Yeah,
accordion.
that is so punk. Accordion. That is so punk. For real.
It just made me giggle the
Imagine
whole
being
time.
an accordion player in a punk band. That is so punk.
It's folk punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be though. That's
Yeah.
even more
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to, but yeah, it was really hard not to giggle while I was doing that because it was, I had the microphone right in front of my face and I was just like every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no like plug-in. They don't make electric accordions, do they? You've got to mic that thing.
They make them, but like it's essentially just a microphone in the accordion. Like it's still a microphone.
So fascinated. Now I need to see what an electric accordion looks like.
we gotta feature that more.
I go down that whole rabbit hole.
Okay, if
electronic
anyone's an
instruments are
electric
crazy.
accordion player, hit us up. We're making new songs with electric accordion features.
So, other songs that we want to talk about off the EP? Maybe you don't have to.
Yeah.
No
Well,
pressure.
Pix is we released it as a single first, and that's going to be on the EP. And that is the first song that I ever wrote for Burly Girlies. And I had written songs before, but they're all very like indie girly, like
Ukulele
cute
girl.
ukulele girl. Yeah, and I've had written some guitar songs too, but very like acoustic, like singer songwriter. And so Pix was my first attempt at writing a punk song, and all of the lyrics were inspired by real things that men have said to me on the internet. On Instagram. So
Yeah.
I need to go back and re-listen to this.
just watch the lyric video they threw together. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
get a good handle of what that was like.
It's a really good. It really paints a picture for
what it is to
what
be
we
a
had to
woman
go through.
online.
Yeah.
Yep, I can just imagine some of the things. I've also experienced some of these things.
Yeah. Yeah, people feel really
People just go for it.
people
Yeah.
feel really
Oh, they do.
empowered, especially to be creepy when they're like offering you money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They like a lot of that experience was very much like this person saying stuff like, oh yeah, like Pornhub is unethical, and so I try to get ethically sourced porn by reaching out to people on Instagram that I think are hot.
Yeah.
Hi,
I
interesting.
feel like it's an interesting. Yeah.
The moral justification that they
it's
tell
like
themselves.
that is good to do, and then what you decided to do with that quote unquote moral that you have is just proves that that's not. Like, that's just
Forcing
not.
yourself into somebody
Yeah.
onto somebody basically,
Yeah,
rather than
yeah.
going to an actress and be like, "Can I pay for?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I had never at any point marketed myself online as someone who's
Yeah.
like would sell
It's
pictures
just like
of my body.
you're a woman. You do porn, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You're hot.
And like the idea
What's the
too.
price?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, how much? The idea
Yeah,
too
how
that
much?
like if
That
I'm
question.
giving it away for free to someone else, that I might as well get paid for it is like one of the other like mentalities of people like that.
Oh, I love it here.
How many songs is it? See, I listened to the entire YouTube link that you sent me.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch the whole thing. Now I'm wondering if I should have sat and watched the whole thing go by.
Yeah, it's 6 songs, which is like I think the longest EP
Yeah.
you can do. But like once you get to 7, it's like a short album.
Right.
But yeah, it's a
These
long
arbitrary
EP.
lines in the
Yeah.
I
sand.
know, right?
We should, yeah.
But it was 15 minutes though. That's very solid EP territory.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, because some of the songs are really
That's crazy
short.
that it's only 15 minutes.
I know.
Oh
We
my
spent
God.
so long.
We spent so long on that.
It's
Damn.
yeah, I know it's
That's
something
nuts.
that I say to myself every time I'm recording or doing music and finally have something to show somebody.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm just like, and they just go, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, "You have no idea the time I put into this,"
Yeah.
and that's what I get.
Yeah.
Tell me why it's only cool, huh?
This has been my entire life for the
Yeah.
past several months. But thank you for thinking it's cool.
This is my child.
Yeah.
How could you be so
does,
dismissive?
It feels like, yeah.
I mean-
It's super solid though. I don't want to degrade it in any way. It is 15 minutes, but it was like a solid 15
Like the
minutes
best 15
of
minutes
punk.
ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is a sonic piece of art.
Yeah.
You can listen to it on your commute, most likely.
Yeah.
And then listen to it again on
the
your
way
way
back.
back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so tell me more about the band. Where do you play? Who do you play with? How often do you play?
We play with Blossom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Blossom. We play with you.
One more Blossom.
We play around. I don't know.
Well, our next
Radio
show is at
Beam.
Higher Ground.
Yes, our next show is at Higher Ground. It's our next Femme Fest. We have
yeah.
a biannual like punk shows that we put together at Higher Ground. And this next one coming up on May 9th, it's prom themed. So it's a punk prom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen the ads for this. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we also play at Despacito fairly often, and Radio Bean.
Yeah, Radio Bean's a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
The vibe.
Yeah, those are the main ones. We've been trying to get out more outside
Basement
of
shows, too.
yeah, we play basements too. Basements are kind of where our love and heart
Yeah,
are.
that was the first show I played. Was on Isham Street. With,
Yeah.
with Dick Richard.
Yeah. Yeah, we just finished covering a song by this other band, Dick Richard, who we're good friends with. That we've played with them in their basement before.
Yeah.
I really like their name. I haven't
Yeah.
heard them.
They're
yet.
awesome.
They are
I mean,
they're
not-
goofy, silly little boys, but they are probably I don't know if
think
I don't know if they're going to continue playing because
Yeah.
they've graduated from UVM. So
Yeah.
There's been so many good bands that just kind of disband.
I
and
know
fizzle
that's
out when
that's
they
what I
leave.
feel like. Like we're fortunate. Like we started the band after all of us were out of college, and so we had kind of planted our roots here so we can stay together for longer. So
Yeah.
Just very important.
and forever and ever. Actually, we'll never
Yeah.
break up.
We'll never break up ever.
Yeah.
Forever.
And we'll also
Band.
never die. So it'll
Yeah.
just be,
And everything will work out.
yeah.
I believe it. I have faith. Did I see something about a zine at some point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about that. I was so enthralled, but I figured I would wait and let you talk about it.
So that's kind of like part of our origin story, I guess, is like
It is,
originally I had the idea to start a zine. Because Ray was indoctrinating me into Riot Girl. And so I came up with Burly Girlies, because adorable. And then Ray was like, well, people who make zines, they're usually like a part of a band and they like promote their band. And like, Kathleen Hanna did it because she was in a band. And I was like, okay. And then but we did start as a zine. And then we kind of worked backwards, I guess. Yeah. And then we made a zine, like probably 2 years ago.
When we had just
After we
started,
started the band.
actually, we I think we like sold it at our first show, our first like actual show. Our
Yeah.
first kind of show, we did like a soft launch in my basement where it was just us. We played for 20 minutes and we put it on Instagram and invited people to my house in Essex.
I was terrified.
And like a few strangers came, and that's how we became friends with Dick Richard.
I was so
is that They were
terrified.
some of the only people that came. It was a Tuesday night because that was the only night that Emmett had off, and people still came. And
I have never been more scared.
Yeah.
That's not true, actually, Monkey House, because there's a stage that's like raised. I remember like the fact that there's a stage being raised. I was horrible stage fright.
But after our soft launch show, we had played at Pride, at People's Pride that summer.
Yeah.
And that was our first show in front of like a bigger crowd, and we sold our zine there. So it debuted there.
Yeah.
So, and now we don't even like really print it anymore. We've made a new zine, we just haven't put it out yet, but our second zine is all about how to start a band. And we wrote like a bunch of tips and stuff about
It's like a really good
what to
info.
do. And Spencer wrote a lot of stuff
Yeah, we
about
actually
how to
cut-
play music, and it was so
Yeah.
helpful. Like Morgan and I are reading it and learning.
No, literally. I was reading it and being like, oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Yeah, like it took us so long to figure out that this is gonna expose us, but like this is how like
It's part of
not
the charm.
musically tell. Yeah, this is why we're so charming. But we like it took us like probably like over a year to figure out that like the strings on the bass were tuned the same,
same as
and that
the strings on
Morgan
our
could play
guitar.
the same thing I was playing if
Yeah.
she just looked at like where my fingers
I
were.
didn't know what a cab was, and I didn't know what like a bass head was, and I didn't know what the difference between like a cab, a head, and like an amp, like a combo amp.
Yeah.
I didn't know what backline was. There are probably other words I still don't know.
Yeah, we put
Monitors, I don't know what that
we
is.
put an index of words that you will hear in our How to Start a Band scene. So that people don't feel
Yeah.
so lost.
Yeah,
like
you
we
really
did.
don't. I truly didn't know anything, and I didn't play an instrument before I started the band, and I didn't know anything.
I mean, you really, the music theory helps you to make stuff quicker and you can identify stuff. But like realistically, as long as you know how to make a power chord and how to tune your guitar, that's all you
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
for punk, rock,
Especially
and
punk.
even most metal. Like,
Yeah.
I would honestly argue the message and the meaning and the reasoning behind forming the band.
Yeah.
If there's a good reason to do that, you
Yeah.
can learn all the rest.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
yeah.
Like this is such a pure, beautiful idea. I love Riot Girl too, and just
Yeah.
like the whole punk scene in of itself, and Kathleen Hanna and everything.
Yeah.
So watching you guys from afar, because I'm just learning about all this now,
Yeah.
is so empowering and like just, I don't know, it gives you the warm fuzzies
Hell
to
yeah.
hear
Yeah.
about this kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's
So
like-
I have no shade towards people who are learning to
Yeah.
to make the dream
I
come
hope
true.
I hope it is empowering to hear
Yeah,
how little we knew.
No, seriously, and like for real, for a while I really was really hard on myself for not knowing a lot. But now it's like,
Well,
I
we did
wanna-
some lessons. you
yeah,
and I,
thank
too.
God. First of all, thank God Spencer did actually
Yeah.
teach me some stuff. But I don't know, like when I think about punk and like Rag Girl, it's like I kind of want it to be bad. Like I want it
There's
to
gotta
be
be a little bit of-
messy and
yeah.
kind of gross, and I want like tones to be off, and I want people to be playing the rock notes. If the heart and like the message and the emotion is there, I don't really care what you're playing. To be honest,
I mean, that's like a whole thing when we were recording was I was just trying to
Yeah.
get us to get the best takes. I didn't necessarily care if it was the most perfect take, if I
Right.
felt like it was the best take.
yeah,
Like, that's a huge thing, especially with drums. Like, that's such a huge thing. Like, a little bit of mess in the drums sounds awesome.
yeah.
yeah. It's just so like human, and like in a world where like there are like
it's just-
drum machines, and there's
Don't
you
get
can-
me started.
like everyone, there will always be someone who's better at like being technical player than you, so just kind of give up. I don't know. Like, does that make sense?
Give
Like,
up
just,
and give in.
just surrender to it and just have fun.
Well, yeah.
Let go
I
and
mean,
let God.
yeah.
just let the, especially like just like playing, just like if your song speeds up and you always, it feels good to do that, like do that. Like our live
Yeah.
shows, like if all of us are super tight, but if you go back and listen to it, it's just like this ebb and flow and ebb and flow, and it feels great. But it is like I look at that, I'm like, we can't keep time. We can just keep with each other. But you know,
Yeah.
Right.
that's what
Yeah.
it feels like
Yeah.
sometimes.
But then it's like,
it sounds great. It's so good.
yeah. And it's
Right.
also just like, did we have fun? Did they have fun? Cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, I
That's
think
fun.
you lose that if you try and play with a click track, which a lot of bands
Hate that
they split
so much.
apart and they
Well,
click track.
I will say,
they record very cleanly, and it doesn't sound anything like they play in reality.
yeah. Well, the EP, we didn't actually end up recording it all together. We did, Emmett and I tracked the drums together. Like, I just play guitar and we'd be like, chorus, you know? Because we just couldn't sync up a time with Emmett's crazy work schedule and, like, Ray's, you know, and we just, like, and Morgan's just like, well, Emmett and I got this. We can do this. We did track Aurora and 14 with Ray, but, like, everything else we did track separately, but it was, like, it did impress upon Emmett. It's like, you are going to set the tone of this whole record, so we're going to take this extra time.
Yeah.
And he killed it. Every
Yeah.
time I
Yeah.
hear it, it's just like, oh, yeah. But to with the click track thing, I will say, like, you know, I do a lot of, like, I'm in a band with a friend that I'm the drummer and he's the singer. So I'm doing a lot of the instruments and he's doing singing. So I kind of, you have to play to a click track, like one man
Oh,
band.
right. Yeah,
stuff,
if it's just one
one-woman band,
person, yeah, that's a little different,
Yeah.
right?
But I will say, you don't need to gridify everything. Like,
Right.
it's, oh my God, just let it, if you listen to my drums that I recorded to a click track with it, it sounds bad. But if you listen to the drums without it sounds great. It's like Burly Girlies. It's just, you know, you try and lock it in. It doesn't have the same feeling as
Yeah.
just letting what feels natural to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aw.
No, very, very. It feels real. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you're talking about like the perfect instrumentals or perfect whatever, everything's so commercialized. Like everything on the radio is so painfully over processed and perfect. It's so perfect, right? To the point where you get like confused. Someone who's never been exposed to real art and real music is like this is different. It's not overly commercialized. And it's really weird because there's people who can't cross that boundary. but it doesn't feel like real music to me. It feels like fake crap peddled to the masses.
Yeah, it is. Like, I mean, you can just tell when, like, I mean, with music like that, or you can just tell when it's like a cash grab or just like, you know, for money.
Right.
Followers or whatever.
Right. And it's every genre of music now. That's the thing. It's not just the pop stars anymore. It's like, oh, these guys are alternative rock. And it's like so the same, like, poor Offspring. I'm going to pick on Offspring. But fuck the Offspring. Like, what the fuck? You guys play the same 3 exact chords. And your hit songs hit the chorus at the exact same second.
It's just, once you get to that level, if you let the producers go in, it's like they have a formula. I just remember, I don't know if anybody knows who Devin Townsend is, but he was one of my favorite artists. And he went and like a metal artist that went and worked with a bunch of pop people. And he made an entire album. He's like, I hate this. And he just deleted the whole thing and never put it out. He's like, they were like writing like types of music based on like the weather that was going to be when we put it out and like what time of year it was coming out. And I was just like, nah.
That is so
it's like very crazy, like how far they plan that stuff out.
Right. Well, it's the money making machine,
because it's
right?
not like how do I support the message of the song, it's how do I reach the most people to get the most money.
Right. And the point of making music for most normal people is not to just make money off of it.
That is our point. Buy our merch. Buy our merch, though. No, I'm kidding.
I just don't want to have to work. I just want to make music, all right? That's all. I don't need to make a ton, just enough.
Actually, go back on that. So definitely, follow us. Buy the merch.
No, 100% buy the merch. Support local artists. But that's it. I don't ever expect, I mean, I wish Burlington was big enough, but if you just get big in Burlington, you're probably not going to be a multimillionaire. But like, it's like if you could just survive and pay rent, that'd be pretty fucking sweet for most people.
Somebody pay all of our rents.
Right.
Do you sell pics?
There's always that as a plan B.
If you're consenting. This is not
True.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're advertising said services.
I literally could never. Sex workers work so hard.
Yeah.
They are so
That's the thing.
good
I
at
like
their jobs, and they're fucking hard workers, and I am not.
When there was like a big movement of people getting into like OnlyFans and stuff, like regular people who weren't into sex work before, I remember like being curious about it. And I like as soon as I learned like, oh, you have to like actually talk to these men and like message them and like pretend that you're like really into it so that they can like buy your product or whatever. I'm like, I
You gotta put your customer service face on.
No, oh my god,
Like, hello, sir.
That's what AI should be used for.
Right.
Talk to
Apparently,
men.
this is so funny. I just
I'm
read
sure they
something
figured
about
that out.
this. Yeah, like a week or two ago, these men are suing OnlyFans because they thought they were talking to the women who they were paying, but they were actually talking to like random dudes in East Bangladesh who are being paid.
Oh yeah, that's an
chat.
insane
No,
industry.
totally.
Yeah,
their feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
Pretty girl wasn't talking to me.
But I paid for a pretty girl to talk to me.
Amazing, because these women have like millions of followers, and they think that they talk to everyone.
talking to them one on one.
But I'm special.
Damn it! Wow.
Yeah.
Anywho, no disrespect to these people. If you want to do that, I have mad respect.
Go and get your porn. It's you do what you got to do, King.
Ethically,
Ethically,
Exactly.
If you can, kings, queens, royalty.
Don't message random fucking people.
I know.
Just don't DM
And ask them how
people
much.
who don't do porn already. Maybe start there. You know.
The bar is like on the ground.
Yeah.
For real, because it's so fucked up. Because every woman I know has stories like that. They're like, you wouldn't believe. Look at this.
Yeah, it didn't take long into my transition to start getting those stories.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. I'm just gonna make my Instagram private. That's all right.
That's exactly what I did too.
Yeah.
I deleted my Instagram for a long time, but
Yeah.
yeah.
The world.
It's like, all right, cool. We talked about pics. What's the next thing?
Right, like this is why this band is important, though. Like this conversation is exactly why it's good that you guys exist. Because what the fuck? We should be able to talk about this because I think so many people don't quite realize how insane it is to just exist in this fucking
That's
world.
honestly the thing too about a lot of the songs. Like we've had men come up to us or talk to us about them. That's like, or at least in my experience, where they say that they like didn't realize like what we go through. And that's why it's so cool that like our shows at this point now, we've been playing for quite a while now, and our shows we're starting to like recognize a lot of the same people who come out, and it's like we've built our own like little community of like gay people and queer people and women and
Love.
and trans people, and so like when you come to a Burly Girlies show, if you're a cis man, like you're kind of in the minority, which is kind of cool because like women are so used to being the minority at every other like punk or hardcore show in Burlington and all over the world.
Say that the last show we did in Middlebury, we had a femme presenting person come up and be like, "This is the first time I've ever gotten a mosh."
Yeah, exactly. And so like it's so important for them to, for like these men to come. I like it when they come anyway, like knowing too that they might be a little uncomfortable or might like get the experience that we have at all of the other shows in town. But also like it's so important for like allies to hear like our stories. Like it's the reason why like white people should go out of their way to like listen to Black artists and like people of color, because they'll write songs about their experiences that like you won't even realize. Like I have the same aha moments when I listen to artists who have identities that are different from mine, and so I like it when men come to our shows and have that same experience.
Totally. Yeah.
It's definitely a hard conversation to start with certain people, because I wish men who didn't want to go to these shows would go to these shows and learn something, because
If they play nice,
exactly. Yes, exactly. If they're going to be decent about it, because it's never the person who's like open to these things who really needs to fucking hear it.
It makes me just think last tour when we did the New Jersey, like, or no, was it New Jersey? Well, anyways, that one show with Squelch at that one place where the guy
in Providence.
Like, thank you. Yeah, where Bex, the singer, was like, okay, like we calm down. There's one person just going absolutely.
It was like a crowd killer situation,
and like they gently just were like, hey, okay, dude, like let's let
sit this one out.
Yeah, like set this out. This isn't for you. It's for the queers and the thems and femmes. And it didn't matter. Like we had the conversation, like a gentle, nice way about it. One band later doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And that turned into a whole ordeal where they were like waiting outside still for like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are fucking nuts. A lot of that's kind of calmed down. I think back in the day when I graduated high school in 2011, so back in that era, the fucking windmilling douchebags were so common, and they would just sit there throwing haymakers.
Don't even get
And it's
started.
like, well, I better not get near you because I'm gonna fucking die. You're kind of an asshole, but and they're like, I'm just vibing. It's like, why is it only dudes who are sitting here punching angrily, just hoping someone walks into their?
That's what our
fucking,
song Mosh Pit is about.
Yeah,
that's not what a mosh pit is
what
about.
Mosh Pit is about.
Well, our song Mosh Pit is like about going to hardcore shows like in Burlington, where we felt like I have this like dilemma with it where I feel like we have our own little community, and when I go to hardcore shows here, I feel like I'm a guest in their community, which is fine. Like I don't necessarily like, I feel like I have my own little space, and then I will go and witness theirs. And so there are things that are like very normal at those shows, like the way that they behave in mosh pits, that feel very unsafe and like not for me. And I had this mentality before that was like, this is like wrong. Like I don't like that. Like it's very normal to like be like actually injured at a show. But my perspective has changed a little bit, where it's like, okay, like this is I guess is an experience that people like really value and actually really like, and that they expect when they go to these shows, and there is like ways for you to avoid it. And so I feel salty about it because I like to be close to the band and I like to be in the mosh pit, but like I will genuinely get my ribs bruised and like be in a lot of pain for a long time. Whereas like moshing at the shows that we have,
Right.
with bands
Yeah.
that we have, like those ones are
like-
for me. Those ones I
Yeah.
can participate in.
Yeah, it's like more people, maybe like your size.
Just need to have like a designated, okay, this is where people are going to get hurt, and then that's
Yeah.
the only spot this can happen.
If I'm 3 rows behind the mosh pit and I'm getting hurt, then
Yeah.
I am salty.
Like,
if I
Oh.
get this.
like if there's a mosh pit there and then like you're aside from it and some dude next to you starts throwing arms, it's just like, come
yeah.
walk,
Yeah.
walk 2
Right.
feet.
Also, like, yeah.
I've seen more natural separation lately. It's been making me happy. I don't know if it's happening everywhere, but where the like 3 guys who are punching wildly, they like kind of group together and punch around each other, and then the rest of the people are kind of just like,
Yeah.
over
fine.
here,
You know what?
in
Yeah.
this part
That's
of
like
the
that's a healthy
stage.
compromise.
Exactly.
But
like,
yeah.
if you go somewhere like Despacito and you know this really tiny venue and you
Yeah.
know I went and saw the Path and Violent Crimes like last week and was it last week? Doesn't matter. And like somebody just everybody started throwing elbows and I'm just like I don't want to be this. I want to watch the bands. I'm not here. Oh God, like
yeah, yeah. That it's so small
like
that
just-
there's not enough room.
It's like
to
if
be.
you're gonna do that, just be aware that like you have this 4 speed 4 what am I trying to say, like 4 feet
Wings?
around you, like
yeah,
relax.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's pretty
like
much the
that's-
whole center in
That's
front of the band.
that's all you. That's like you gotta mosh in less than that,
Right, right. Which it's, I don't
Yeah.
know. All the power to people, but
I just love like I don't know. Like,
just don't intend to punch people in the
with- yeah,
face.
with, like, mosh
who are
pit,
down with being punched in the face.
you have the whole thing where in mosh pit where you like invite everybody up and I just seeing like all the femmes, thems, and just smaller queer and people
Yeah.
just actually having fun in a mosh pit for
Yeah,
once.
that is really cool.
Because I'll watch them the whole show before, like when we play with like like where it's not like a Burly Girlies specific, like we put this together, queer bands, or it's just like, oh, Burly Girlies are on the bill, and they'll like be in the back and off to the side, and then they don't necessarily even like show up, for like those bands because I don't know, maybe they're just like worried about getting hurt because as soon as we play, they all come up.
It's interesting.
yeah.
It's something about the energy.
Yeah,
It's
like
just different.
Yeah.
it's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something I've just noticed.
I'm a
like,
big advocate for a bump around mosh pit.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That's what we
absolutely.
usually introduce it as. If you want to jump around into each other, then Burly Girlies is for you. If you want to punch people, go and see a different band.
Or do
Right.
it consensually. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I feel like the idea of like femmes punching each other to me
Hot.
like it
I
just,
almost said it too.
it's hot. So I think that maybe
So,
the like
Let's backtrack.
okay, so
Sensual
sometimes
punching.
is there a double standard? Yes, and that's fine to me. I'm okay with
Let
femmes.
femmes feel safe
crowd
enough
killing.
to punch other femmes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm cool with femmes and like gays, theys, crowd killing. Is that?
It's our time.
That was really brave.
I don't know.
That was really brave.
I think let's just switch it up. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what. Well, the thing, but half of the problem is just that like our bodies are smaller, like, and like
Yeah.
and a lot of times I feel like most of my injuries from the pit have been just because a man used his normal amount of strength on me, and it was enough to kill me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, I've been knocked flat on my ass by a 6'5" guy who just punched me straight in the side of the
Yeah.
head, and I was like,
Jesus.
"Holy
My God.
fuck!" I haven't really been back in the punchy pit
Yeah.
since that day because once that happens, you start doing this,
Yeah.
and then you do it right out of the pit. You're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
okay, too much swinging
Yeah.
around."
I saw
the
somebody get
jumpy
a
ones are
foot
so
in
fun.
their mouth
Whoa.
in a mosh pit recently.
Which
and was
one?
like really hurt. It was at I was at it was in Essex. I forgot what there's a venue in Essex now that's putting on hardcore shows.
Oh, was that
was that
the
in the
one that
last
we went
couple
to?
weeks?
I went to another one
Okay.
after that, but yeah,
Oh.
it was a few weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah, I
someone got
saw
real hurt.
ads, and I was like, "Where is this place?" And then
Yeah,
it
First
disappeared
Republic
into the world.
Brewing. That's what
Okay,
it's called.
okay,
Yeah,
so-
it's a cool
yeah.
place.
Cool. Well, that's too bad someone got kicked in the face. See, don't kick people in the face.
mouth.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they were windmilling their legs. Like,
I've seen a guy do that before. I've never seen a woman do it. A woman should do that, but
Yeah.
but I have
Insane.
seen the dudes just like the it's kind of like a karate move, I think, where they're like this leg, that leg, that
Right.
leg, this leg.
yeah, girls start acting up in the
Love.
pit a little more.
Yeah, I don't know. Just,
Let's get a
switch
little
it up.
freaky with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the kicking at waist level might start discouraging.
Yeah. Wear
some
those
of
big
the-
platforms and go kick, and you'll be good.
Spin kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Wear your spiky, wear leather. you're good.
Demonias.
Wear your demonias.
Start taking up more space than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lots of rings, and you'll be good.
I love.
Now you're just inciting like in violence. I don't know. I'm fine with that. That feels good to me. But
I like kicking in mosh pits. I think that would be a thing, but not in the face. Like, don't within reason.
Yeah.
One of the most fun pits I was ever in was actually at like Dropkick Murphys because everyone was like Irish dancing, kicking each other in the shins,
Yeah.
which was actually really, really
I
fun.
was gonna say,
That does sound like a good
I've
time.
been in a pit where it was like a jig pit where we were just like all in a line and like circling at this like folk
Nice.
metal show. Like, yeah, that stuff's so fun. And then like there's been a big thing with like rowing at shows now. Like people sit down and just start
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that. Yeah, I don't know what's up with it, but I really
saw
like
a
it.
video of some like people playing Magic the Gathering in a pit.
What I will say the
They
best
were
pit
sitting on the floor
actually.
playing Magic the Gathering.
I just
in a
remember
pit.
there was a pit. There was a band. God, their name escapes me. But they brought a bunch of foam swords.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, water guns in a pit? Jello. Jello wrestling in the pit.
Well, that's gonna make the
Mud
floor
pit.
slippery.
Wait.
Somebody's gonna
Yeah.
die.
See, all of these ideas are good if it's only femmes them squid. Like that's I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because it gets out of hand.
It gets
when-
out of
Burly Girlies. You can see the title on Burly Girlies. Men ruin everything.
it just yeah. It sucks because some of them are cool, but
Yeah.
I like all these ideas. There ought to be like this. Sounds like a great outdoor show.
yeah.
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 I mean,
Jello
I'm
pit.
kind of here for that, like water gun pit. To be honest,
That'd be so fun.
That would be fun.
They make those like $2 little. Yeah.
Yeah. Squirt guns or something. Water balloons. That'd be
Yeah,
You have to have
balloon.
a lot of them ready.
I feel like our equipment will get soaked.
Yes,
okay,
you gotta
well, now you're taking
separate.
us out of the fantasy.
Stop being practical.
See, Jello balloons might be better.
Oh
Jello
God, no!
Wait, hang on. So what you mean that like
Jello
it's full
wrestling.
of Jello and then the balloon,
Right,
you throw
and
the
then
balloon,
it's
it
Jello
pops.
wrestling. Right, exactly.
Right.
Combo.
The look
One of the
Morgan
femmes
just
and
gave me.
thems. Now, everyone picture in your minds with femmes and thems. Yeah. Yeah.
In our bathing suits.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's move on.
Sense. Okay, brief hiatus after
Yeah.
the laughing ending.
The giggles.
See, we're having too much fun.
Yeah.
Just drain the batteries. I honestly don't know what happened there, but it happened.
What is that?
Is it one of my batteries? Did I fling it
No,
over there? Okay.
it's a.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. No worries. I just want to make sure I left it on your seat or something. Like, what is this battery? Okay. So, did we cover? We covered a few songs off of the EP.
Puss.
Puss. Anything else that we want to say about the Puss EP? Are you doing a release party on the 26th?
Yeah, I think I guess FemFest is kind of
Yeah.
the, like quasi
that's-
Puss EP release.
Yeah, FemFest is like what, a week and a half, 2 weeks later.
It would just be way
Yeah.
too close to do a show and then do FemFest.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
Yeah.
already
it's
doing
not.
it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to
lot.
do it. I love doing like an EP party, EP release party, but I also like the idea of like giving people a couple of weeks to come to FemFest after and like maybe they know
Yeah.
some of the words now and yeah.
People
so
already know the words to these
that's
songs.
what's
I know,
that's what's
yeah,
crazy.
they sing
That
along.
is what's crazy.
People in Middlebury were singing along,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
There's nothing to learn and sing along to. These people are just coming to shows and.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so
Enough.
excited. And Pix came out, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3,000 streams.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
That's
really
really
cool.
cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Ash says that they did 1,000.
Yes.
Should not repeat. But yeah, no release party.
Hey, FemFest.
Except FemFest,
counts.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Asterisks. whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to book shows. So
Yeah.
Yes.
all the venues. I was gonna say like most of
And
the
we're
venues we
busy.
were trying to play at were like not doing shows anymore.
We're already
like,
planning FemFest and we're busy and
well, I just meant more like the whole insurance thing with like Monkey House,
Oh, yeah.
Manhattans.
yeah.
Yeah, that's been very confusing. I don't fully understand because Monkey House is still playing some of these big bands that are definitely
Yeah, Big
like
D and the Kids Table.
hardcore.
It's as soon as it actually says punk or metal, where they're just like nah, or specifically hardcore. They just it's
So
a
everyone
no-no.
just has to be like, we're a soft rock band.
yeah. I know. I'm trying to think like for like a death metal band, it's like you could do experimental, avant-garde, ambient, jazz, fusion, rock band.
Right.
Right.
so true.
I got enough things buried in there to
Yeah.
technically.
It just seems like such a weird, like, restrictive thing. Like, we're just gonna silence bands through insurance of all fucking things. Like, really? The insurance man gets to decide who plays in Burlington? That's kind of fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, if it's about moshing, like I've been to venues before where like moshing wasn't allowed, and so I don't know. I feel like that there were. I don't understand what the like
Yeah.
insurance companies
Yeah.
like reasoning is behind. Like, why can't it just be like you can have punk shows, but have a no moshing policy? Like, I get that's why a lot
Or
of
like
people go,
just
but
put up a sign that says "Mosh at your own risk" and then boom, you're covered.
yeah, or sign a waiver when you go to
Right.
a hardcore
real.
Right, make them
show.
sign a waiver.
Yeah.
It's like a social contract that you sign when you go to hardcore shows. Like nobody is
Yeah,
ever
it's so
gonna sue the venue because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe that's why.
They do
Right.
if they really get hurt because of a security oversight, but
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
Which isn't really the same thing as getting
No.
punched in the head in the mosh pit.
yeah, no, it's really not.
No, it bothers me a lot, but that's it. It's just some like arbitrary thing on the genre, and I feel like we could get around this. I've heard of people booking really random places. Someone's trying to play at the library.
That's awesome.
Oh my god! Yeah,
my
no. So that's like
God,
the
yeah.
DIY spirit. That like
I love
Yeah.
that. What the fuck is up, Denny's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's just like a
Yes.
band who was like there was like a local Denny's that was closing, and they were like, "Can we play a show here?" And they
God, we
said,
should
yeah.
start. We should start reaching out to places like super fucking random.
Right? I want to play at Spare Time. Right?
Yes. Oh my god.
So
That would actually
fun.
be
Right?
really cool.
Wait, what the hell? That'd be we could play. Oh, that'd be so
They have like this weird event space room upstairs that
Yeah.
honestly,
Or we
could
could play
probably
in the
a show.
arcade.
Yeah.
In the arcade.
We'll just put a
Well, that
rug down
rules.
and take up like 2 of the bowling lanes.
That's what I was thinking.
That's
Yeah.
also sick. That would
Yeah.
be so sick.
Right? Cool idea.
Okay.
Yabai is playing at Old Spokes Home.
Cool.
So
I just listened to your episode with them, and I listened to them, and I really like them. I had never heard of them.
they're pretty new. Yeah, they're a lot of fun though. They
Yeah.
have one song that the entire song they're not really punk, but this one song is extremely punk, and the entire song is just, if the item doesn't scan, it must be free.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, that's awesome. What's it called?
It's called Yabai, Yabai, and then it's Yabai Band, because it means holy shit in Japanese, so it's like a very common
Yeah.
phrase.
That is so good.
Yeah, love Phil, love Mitch, Scott, and bass players who I never really had a conversation with because he didn't come on the show. Great guys, though,
Yeah.
wonderful people. But anywho, Old Spokes Home. Just wanted to throw that out there that maybe
cool.
What is-
other
wait, what
bands
is
could
that?
play. It's the like
it a bike
used
shop?
bike shop in the
That's
North
really
End.
cool. Oh, we should do it at the rock climbing gym that my girlfriend and all the gay hot people go to because everyone there who climbs is gay and hot.
Yeah.
And big space.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There you
Hey,
go.
that actually sounds like a perfect spot to do a
Yeah,
show.
wait. Okay, I'm gonna reach out. No, for real. No, for
His
real. I
eyes
think
just
this could be
got
something.
really wide.
Okay, bowling alley,
Yeah.
climbing gym in Essex. It's in Essex.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm just picturing like people climbing on the climbing walls as we're playing and they're like moshing and that'd be so fun. Okay.
Sounds
Sorry.
amazing. No, I love this.
Continue.
This brainstorming. We're gonna make it work. Other bands are gonna listen to this
River
too.
would
And I'm
literally
gonna tell
lose her
them as
mind.
well.
That'd be so funny.
Oh, okay. All right. So May 9th, FemFest.
Yeah.
Who else is playing with you at FemFest?
Oh, I would love to talk about
Yeah.
that. Okay, so The Worst from Portland, Maine. They're a really cool band out there. They're like grungy, punk, femme-fronted, And then we've got Shy Godwin from Philly, who we're obsessed with.
Obsessed.
And they are like a grunge hardcore band. And we love them. And they are like Burlington, Vermont people. Like, this is your opportunity to see these bands before they blow up.
Before Shy Godwin blows the fuck up,
Yes.
you need to come see Shy Godwin.
And then Hissy Fit, who are a UVM band of femmes and queer people
Awesome.
who are opening.
Yeah.
And we're really excited about them too.
It's such a good lineup.
Yeah.
It's such a good lineup. It's very solid.
Cool. What time? So May 9th. What day of the week is that?
It's a Friday.
Friday. And what time is it?
Doors at
7:30.
7:30.
I'll look at the
Cool.
flyer.
No, I'm writing this down for me. 'Cause
Yeah.
but everyone else should.
Okay, so
And
just open up my
there's going to
calendar.
be a photographer and a backdrop there so you can get your prom
Photos
taken.
taken. Yeah. It is a themed costume party. The idea of it all was to be able to go to prom, to go to a queer friendly, freak friendly space where you can dress at prom, and a lot of people like weren't able to dress in the expression that they are.
Yeah, I went to prom in a suit. I'd rather not.
Yeah. And so now you have an opportunity to have a redo.
I'm getting a dress custom made for me by this artist called My World, and I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Is that local? I haven't heard of My World.
Yes.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
shop.myworld on Instagram. And very cool person.
Yeah. It's like hard to find dresses that feel affirming to me, but I love dresses. But I also used to be a pageant girl, and I'm very traumatized by that experience. And so I like sent the idea and like pictures of like Courtney Love and like Avril Lavigne and like the 2000s, and I wanted something that was like both feminine and like 70% feminine, 30% masculine, and like still a dress but also punk. And they designed something really awesome, and I'm so excited. It's gonna feel so good.
That's awesome.
Cool. Very cool. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, some inspo for the listener. Carrie.
Yeah, think Carrie.
Think Carrie. Think Courtney Love. Think Avril Lavigne with like the tie vibes.
Yes.
What else?
And wear whatever makes you comfortable. Like,
Well, yeah.
You don't have to like dress up fully if you don't want to, but
yeah,
it's a fun.
but themes are fun, and I love themes.
Yeah.
So,
So do it.
like it's a fun challenge at whatever level you want to do that at.
Yeah.
All right.
Prom.
All right. Just make sure you can dance in it.
Yes.
Do some bouncing
Yeah,
motion.
mosh on it. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
We're going to do a wall dance. No.
Also, but imagine wearing someone's wearing a prom dress though, and they start and it gets all fucked up, and they're ripping it, and they came in and their hair was all done up, and then it gets all fucked, and their like makeup is smudged.
Yeah.
So,
That's the vibe.
it doesn't have to stay perfect. That's kind of a vibe. It's like I don't know, whatever. I don't need to elaborate further.
We've learned a lot
I'm
about
s-
Morgan. This
I'm
podcast.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going too deep on things that don't matter that much.
I think this prom sounds like it's very important and it matters a lot.
It matters a lot to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that I just love the idea. There's been a few of these different like formal things around.
Yeah.
but
Oh my God.
not
We
a lot of
planned this, and
alternative
then
ones.
Yeah,
all of a
so
sudden,
many.
like 2 or 3 like queer proms came up
Yeah.
like around the same time. We're like, oh geez. But yeah, this one it's like a queer prom, but it's for the freaks and
Freak
the
prom.
punks.
Freak
and
prom.
the punks. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about adults missing. I feel like we used to do things like back a couple decades ago. Adults actually like went out and dressed up and like that
Like a
became
dinner
like,
party with your friend.
Oh my God,
Right,
yeah.
it became like going clubbing, and like that is not the same
Yeah.
thing. And I think there's a real, I don't know, people really want to dress up
I
and
love
kind of
dressing
get
up.
into the
Yeah,
vibe.
Same.
Love dressing up.
Right. And a lot of alternative people just don't have anywhere to go,
Yeah.
regardless, and do any of this fun stuff.
Yeah, I love putting on my little outfit and
For
my
real.
little makeup and
Oh my
my
God,
hair. It makes me feel like
Alive.
really, yeah, it makes me feel like me.
Yeah.
And then if you do it and then you show up to a thing and the people are like, what are you all dressed up for? Because it's like New England and
I'm
people
like, sorry, I
don't.
look good.
People
I
are
don't
very
know.
casual in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, you can show up in a sundress and be like, oh, fancy.
literally.
Yeah,
I'm
literally.
like, okay.
Okay, flannel.
Yeah.
You're literally wearing a flannel right now. I too, though.
No, it's true, though. Like, we very seldom actually dress up here.
It's fun. Especially
is.
if you're in a band. Put on a cute
Oh,
outfit.
yeah. I am not ashamed to admit this, though, that like 25% of why we do the band is for the outfits.
Yeah. Seriously.
We love dressing up.
I love dressing up.
I do love dressing up for shows.
love having
Yeah,
it.
and like our makeup and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just fun.
And Spencer has her own style of lipstick.
Yes.
Spencer has a signature. And tell them about your mohawk, too.
I mean, it's a mohawk.
Totally.
I don't know what else. I don't even know what color I'm doing it yet. It's for FemFest. Rachel has to get back to me about whether my hair can be dyed again or not.
Yeah. Shout out Telmo.
Shout out
Yeah.
Talmo Hair Co. Yeah, where I've been doing all. If you've liked my hair at all at any point in this band, that's all I do or all I go to is
Me too. I
Talmo.
also go there.
Do you do the full stand-up for shows?
Oh yeah.
Not every
yeah.
show. She goes and gets it done for special occasions.
Oh yeah, like the big show. I
She did it for our
right.
tour, and it
Yeah.
stayed the whole tour. We had
Well,
to like help her.
lots of hairspray
Yeah.
every other show. Yeah,
right. Do you do
felt
it
like a
laying
broom.
down?
not that long.
I've
yet.
seen people do
I've
that.
been
They just
told-
like lay down and spray,
That's
and
kinda
then
smart.
lay on the other
I
side
go,
and spray.
I go and see Bianca for the Mohawk styling at the Talmo, and they're like, yeah, if you get much longer, we're going to have you laying down. I'm like, cool. I'd totally fine to lay down for styling. Are you kidding me?
That is so funny.
Just give me a pillow. I'll be good, you know? Probably fall asleep.
That's a lot of work. Of all the hairstyles, the vertical hairstyles are.
Yeah.
She does it in,
I have
all the power
in an
to you.
hour. Just boom, knocks it. I don't understand it. And then I talked to them more, and she was like, yeah, that's what I did my, like, cosmetology, like not thesis. I guess thesis on was mohawks.
That's awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
I
cool.
really want to do a show once where Spencer has a mohawk, Ray has Liberty Spikes, and I have Coke can curlers.
We could.
I would love to do that at some
FemFest,
point.
Just do that.
This sounds amazing.
I
Yeah.
know.
The aesthetics are so important. It's such a weird thing with bands because the music obviously is the music, the message. Aesthetics are so cool. Though.
Yeah,
it
well,
makes
it's
the
part of
show
the
so much
story.
fun.
Part of it.
It's part of the
it.
art. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, I feel a little bit embarrassed to talk about how much I like putting together outfits for shows, but, like, I feel like the reason why we aren't encouraged to, like, be proud of that is because it's, like, a feminine thing. Like,
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
Which I will say, I think it's crazy because, like, growing up listening to metal, every one of those dudes.
yeah, literally. Like, look at Kiss.
You telling me they didn't sit down and spend hours figuring this out one day,
Yeah,
and have a little bit of fun?
And they got that from us. Like, they stole that from the girls, you know? Like, they got their
Yeah.
whole, like, their little outfits and makeups from the girls. So, and it was cool when the men did it. And then when we are, like, proud
They're
of
just
putting
being
together our
women.
little outfits, they're like, well, it's not really about
Yeah,
that.
it's about the
music.
It's like, shut the fuck up. We got Guar out here, and you know.
Guar, Kiss, fucking Slipknot. Like you could
Yeah.
just, and those are just the heavy ones because all of the Bowie era.
Oh my god!
Like,
Yeah.
Which
That's
power to Bowie. Bowie's a special
Well, yeah.
case, right?
Well, yeah.
But like
Bowie,
they
oh
all
God.
followed that. There was so much eyeliner, and they still, so many men still wear eyeliner in the rock scene, and
who's-
it's like,
D. Snyder, what band was that? Twisted Sister. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Twisted
oh my God,
Sister.
That's the
Yeah.
reason why the Runaways, they're like, their manager or whatever, I forgot it, Kim Fowley. That's the
Yeah.
reason why he, like, started or tried, like, got this, like, girl rock band was because, like, those artists like David Bowie and Mick Jagger and, like, these rock stars were so feminine, and it just kept, like, elevating more and more and more. And he was like, well, the only way to outdo it is to get actual fucking women to do it.
Jeez.
weird how that happened.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It reminds me of how they used to have men play women in like Shakespeare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because women weren't allowed to perform on stage.
Drag.
Right, so they,
literally
you know,
drag.
they'd wear wigs and makeup, and
Yeah.
dresses, and it's almost like a woman could play this role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Almost.
Almost exactly.
So get ahead of ourselves. Men can do everything.
Yeah.
God.
Except have babies. I think that's what a lot of that about, to be honest.
Well, some can.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Sis. But, yeah.
Okay. All right. We are probably rounding the hour mark. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Is there anything else you want to share in terms of messaging, shows coming up, stuff we missed? If you want to rattle off a link or your Linktree link, which isn't Linktree. I forget which one it was actually, but
any songs on the EP still you want to talk about?
No, I think what I'll say is things are hard right now for trans people in the government, and I want to say I'm very sorry to everybody affected by what's going on right now, and also to immigrants in our country, and just it's overwhelming to think about. But sometimes people will reach out to us because we try to have an optimistic view, and we talk about political things, and people will be like, "What do I do?" And not that we're just like a bunch of little dummies in a band, so not that we have like an answer or anything about that. But I will say, like, if you're overwhelmed, just like pick a thing and like do what you can for that thing, and then there are other people doing other things that will do what needs to be done for that. But there are a lot of different things to care about right now, and don't get overwhelmed by thinking you need to take it all on, because like we can all work together if we all choose our own thing and then not get burnt out.
Yep.
And so
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that. That's like a really good point. But yeah, like you just don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Definitely stay informed, but like, the doom scrolling is not helpful.
That's not being informed. That's just news.
Yeah.
scrolling.
it's self-harm at that point.
Yeah,
Just
and
pick a news source.
right. And find community, and if you're upset about issues, then there are things you can do on a small scale that will actually create change,
Local politics.
and impact people, and support local politics, and support the fucking library.
Yeah.
God damn, that place rocks.
Go to school board meetings.
Yeah.
Like stand up for trans kids. Like
For real. Vote. This community, Burlington, is the place that like really affects all of us. Like, our elections matter here a lot. Like, we're in Burlington to vote for people who represent Burlington.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
And also, it's just, you'll see change. You'll see your impact more. And, like, you'll
Even
make things
just-
happen more.
Just get to know your community.
Yeah.
Just engage with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Even if it's just you're part of the community, like going to FemFest or just queer shows or
And have
Dyke
fun.
Nights.
Yes. Go to Dyke Night. And also, remember to have fun.
yeah, don't lose
It's a
your joy,
balance.
because
Yes.
they want. That's exactly what they want. Is for
Yeah.
you to be.
they want you to be
upset.
mad at everybody and to lose your
They
joy.
want you to be bitter,
And like
and they want you to give up.
I get joy from seeing Elon Musk start crying on his
Yeah.
Twitch stream. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Me too. Me
Love.
too. Yes, joy in
I will
FemFest.
find joy in
Yeah.
their
Joy in this new
tears.
EP.
Yes. Yep.
I'm joyful for it because
you.
that was fucking awesome. I'm gonna listen to it again. 26. Is it dropping on Bandcamp, Spotify?
It will be on
all of the
Bandcamp and
things?
every streaming platform.
Platform.
that
Can't
you can
confirm that
imagine.
Burly Girlies is on YouTube Music because that's what I use.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And follow us on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bandcamp's cute. You should
Yes.
see it.
Well, it's also if you're gonna buy it too, if you can't get a physical,
Yeah.
buy
Yeah,
it
oh my
from
God, we're gonna have
Bandcamp.
a
We're gonna have
physical
physical
CD.
CDs. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I'm so excited for the next zine as well because
Hell
I said
yeah.
that's where I
Yes.
found your zine was on
New
Bandcamp.
shirts, new
Yeah.
shirts, new guitar picks.
Yeah, we have
Seen
lots
the
of
new
merch and
pics?
They're
stuff
not like
coming
that
out.
different, but there's more.
Okay.
With the Rocky Horror Picture
Yeah,
Show
the Rocky Horror
font.
Picture Show font.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
come to FanFest.
Okay,
yeah. Be in your community
and remember to have fun.
Start
Yeah.
a band.
and yell.
Start a band.
It's not hard.
And
I
go
promise
to the
you
goddamn
it's not.
library and read a book. Jesus Christ. Read any book. Please. They're good. They're good.
They're TV for your head.
Books are good.
Yeah.
You can read smut. Books are good. Ethical porn. It all comes back around. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you all so much for being on the show today. This was the 55th episode of Vermont Talk. So the show notes with all of your links and links to the merch and links to the FemFest event and links to all of these things, including Puss EP on the 26th, are going to be at vermonttalks.com/55. Thank you so much, Burly Girlies. This was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to the end of the show. Subscribe to Vermont Talks on your favorite podcasting platform. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all over the web. Contact Becca at vermonttalks.com if you'd like to be interviewed or if you know someone who should be. Thanks so much to Jason Baker for creating the show music. The views and opinions expressed by the guests are those of the individuals and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Vermont Talks. Any content or statements provided by our guests are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, anyone, or anything. And that's what was new in the 802. Have a great day.